All right, so good evening, everyone. My name is David Talbot. I will be your host this evening on this training on introduction to DeloX. So many of you might have heard of Delorean, but have you heard of doing it for basically HFX? So trading HFX with Delorean is the next step and taking things to the next level. And it's a great way for you to basically not just trade Delorean in the Forex manner, but also HFX or high frequency Forex. So I'm going to go through a brief journey of how it's basically for you to understand how you can trade Delo the HFX way. So good evening all everyone here on this call. So just a brief thing about Delorean, what it is, because some people might be new to this. Delorean is a simple interface structure of basic trading. You're going to learn about how it's used and so forth. It's got an alert panel on the right-hand side of the screen as well. And you get clickable elements, you can click on it. And it's simple arrow system, which you can understand as well. So I will be going through basic Delorean, so you understand how to use it and what it is as well. So it's all web-based, and you'll see the platform and you'll see the interface. It's very simple and easy to use. So you can see the interface here on the screen. So the amazing thing about Delorean is that it's clear. You can see the panel on the right-hand side when trades have occurred, how long they've passed and so forth. At the top, the strategies and hyperdrive. This is what we're going to be focusing on, especially with HFX, because hyperdrive is short-term time frame trading. And normal Delorean focuses on 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, and daily. With hyperdrive, it goes down to the 5-minute candle. So it's basically short-term, short light trades you can easily do. We're going to learn about the basics of Delorean. If you haven't had Delorean before, you can access this, but I will go through how you can access Delorean if you do not possess Delorean. And also the basics videos there as well, how you can access it and go through what Delorean is. These alerts are for normal Delorean. So because hyperdrive is very, very fast, you're not going to be able to get the alerts because obviously they come out quite very often, not quite often, but very often. But basically you can get the schedule for the educators as well and go live. So Tyrone, Abel and Patrick. But in terms of the HFX, it's very simple and easy. We haven't got a HFX educator in relation to Delorean, but there should be one very soon. But the focus is going to be on hyperdrive. So normal traditional Delorean will not be used. You're going to be using hyperdrive for those short-term time frame trades. So when we talk about trading HFX, and this is the most common thing that people do, especially with trading HFX, is that you try and trade on one account. You trade on doing your compounding on one account. You basically do your risky trades on one account. Now, it's very highly advised that you basically have separate accounts for many different things. So your main account is going to be your compound account. You're going to have your compound account, setting your targets, 5% target a day, and you're going to continually build on this. Now, it's a good thing that you have that. Once you hit your target, your 5%, then you can use your other accounts as well. So we always say, don't put all your money into one account, because sometimes, you do well, you hit your target, you want to go into another sneaky trade, you want to try different things, and that results in you making mistakes and losing all that 5% profit that you've made. I know that HFX can be very fast paced. People get a little adrenaline rush, but that's what you have those other accounts for. You have your flip account so you can try out new things, over leverage and try different things, just play around to get that stuff out your system. And you also have your call account and your put account. So these are accounts that have been advised that you should have by Tyrone himself, and it's very good. But I always have my compound account. I build that one up, and then I have my other accounts where I can let off my steam, try new things, try different things as well, which is really good. So it's really advised to do that. So I hope you're making notes on this, and it's helpful for you as well. Now, when you are compounding your account, we always say, like, set yourself a goal, a target. I set myself a target of 5% daily. So the goal is to make 25% every week, to compounding and building your account, making sure that you're building it up to a nice level. There's obviously human error. You're not going to obviously win every trade, but you've got to be making sure that you are prepared for that. So with human error, we say about 15% weekly. Now 15% multiplied by 4 weeks, that's 1 month. That's 60% monthly. Now, we don't get that in our bank accounts. So being able to make that in a trading account is something that's going to be outstanding. But make sure that you are great with risk management. Risk management is also key. I always say that to people. People sometimes do not use proper risk management. Now, the key thing is to determine how much you're trading per trade, and you've got to stick to it. Do not over leverage, please. This is what happens when people come into things. They over leverage, they trade, they do things that they're not supposed to do, and they lose them below their account. They lose more than their 5% target. Now, you basically, if you have, for example, lost 5% of your account, stop for the day and walk away. Come back tomorrow. The markets are always going to be there. Yep, you're going to make that money back. You shouldn't worry. But it's important when you know and understand how much you're trading. Don't go in aimlessly and just put a number. So always know how much you're going to be trading, how much you're going to be risking, and how much you're going to be setting your target for. So I would say to trade between 1% to 3% is always a good thing. And you should know how much you're trading, because you need to know how much you're going to be losing in your balance if you do hit your 5% loss. So you need to know, okay, this is the amount I'm going for. If I hit that amount, I've got to stop trading. So set before you trade your target for the day, your percentages per trade, and also your maximum daily loss. Now, it's very simple and easy to calculate this. So you get your account size and divide it by 100. So that's where you get into 100%. And you times the percentage that you're looking for. So whether it's 5%, 2%, 1%, it will tell you the amount that you need to trade, or tell you the amount that you basically will be losing. So it's clear and understandable for you, so you know what you're doing. Make sure you plan these in advance. Make sure you understand it, because it's always important to know what you are doing and how you're trading. So let's get into the gist of things, the key things that you need to watch when you're doing Delorean, and especially Delorean X. So DeloX, the key thing is, I always say to people, watch the Delorean Bootcamp. Okay, you can access this on the platform. So if you have the Delorean package, you can access the Delorean Bootcamp. That's in Patrick's sessions. If you go to Patrick's favorites, you'll find the Delorean Bootcamp videos 1 to 4. Now, these videos are very helpful, gets you to understand what a DeLorean is. You also get access, and I would say to you to watch, is the free COL. That's in most Delorean videos, and I will cover that as well. KC is Exit University. You're going to know how to exit trades, and I will cover that as well. But also Delo in minutes, which is basically what I'm covering with you right now. So it's a great way for you to understand how to trade Delorean using a HFX. So these are accessible to you. They're very clear and they're very easy for you to follow. So no problems for you whatsoever. Some of you might want to say, look, I want to try it out, understand what Delorean is before I purchase it. You can access Patrick's videos on his YouTube page. So if you go to find Patrick Kenny, you'll find his Delorean Bootcamp there, so you can watch the bootcamp, understand it, and if it's for you, purchase the add-on. It's highly advisable to understand how Delorean is, so it's always good to have it, as well as go through the basics as well. Now, Delorean is one of the things I like about Delorean. It's quite simple and easy to follow. The key thing that you need to look out for, the first thing you need to look out for, are the arrows on the Delorean platform. So you have the blue arrow, which is pointing up for the buy, and the red arrow going down for the sell. So these are the key things you need to look for. Then it leads on to you going into the area where you need to look into with the 4 steps. Now, the good thing about Delorean is the simple 4-step strategy. That's one I love and enjoy, and it's BCLS. Bigger, cut, location, and then you go into space. If it fits all those, then excellent. You take the trade. Same rules apply with basically HFX. This is for Forex. Same things apply for HFX. Simple, simple, simple. That's what's great about this. Clear, simple, easy to understand. The simple steps. The first step, look at the candle to the left of the arrow. Okay, we're looking at a sell. Is the red candle bigger than the blue? Yes, go to the next one. Does the red candle cut through both candle bodies? Yes. Then you go to the next one. Is the gray, aqua, or blue line closely above the 2 candles or cutting through? Now, the key line that you should look for is the aqua. Okay, the closer the aqua is, the better. Okay, that is always pulls back to the arrow. Basically, everything pulls back to the aqua line. And that's what's powerful about this. It's great to do that. There we go. And then basically the last bit there, you can see is, did you make sure that the gray aqua or blue lines are not closely below? If they're closely below, it's not good. So you've got to make sure there's a distance there. With HFX and obviously hyperdrive, it's going to be around about two pips, because those don't need to be closely below 2 pips. You've got to keep that distance there and so forth. You don't want it too close. So similar with the buy, there we go. You're looking for 2 candles to the left of the arrow, and you're looking for the blue candle being bigger than the red. Now, does the red line cut through both candle bodies? Yes. And is the gray aqua or blue lines closely below the 2 candles or cutting through? Remember, the aqua is the magic one. And did you make sure that the gray aqua or blue lines are not closely above? And I would say, let's keep some distance and make sure if there's no lines above or below, depending on what you're doing, that's perfect. That is great. And that's what I look for. You take the trade. Does everyone understand everything? Okay, everyone's okay with that so far? Let's see anybody in the chat and everyone else. I know it's a bit quiet. I know people are listening, taking notes. It's always good to see if any interaction in the chat. So do feel free to put anything in chat if you are okay with all this and understand it. If you don't understand something, you want me to go back over it, I'm happy to go over it. And this, like I said, this is being recorded, so the recording will be shared. So I'm going to show you an example just to make things easier for you to understand. So like we always say, quick note, before you begin, you focus on the 2 candles to the left of each arrow. So when we look at this, you can see here, the 2 candles to the left of the arrow. So we look through, is the red candle bigger than the blue? Yes. Is the red line cutting through? Yes. The good thing about Delorean is that he's already done the first 2 steps for you. It's only going to call trades that have the first 2 steps done. It's the gray, aqua, blue lines closely, there we go, let me bring it over so you can see, there we go, closely above or cutting through. And then you've got the gray, aqua, blue lines are not closely below. So if we have a look, oops, let me go back. There we go. And we have a look right there. So you can see they're not below, they're closely above. That's good. We would have gone into this trade. And you would have gone into it here. And you can see, you would have caught these trades. And I was explaining to you the different ways you can enter the trade as well. Similarly, when you look into a buy or a call, you simply look to the left of the arrow. It's very good to look at the left of the arrow like so. And you can see here, left of the arrow, and then you go through the steps again for the buy. And obviously when it goes, yes, it's good, you're good to go and you can enter the trade. Very simple and very easy to do. Okay, so you can see here, look at the 2 candles to the left. Is the arrow, is the blue candle bigger than the red? Yes, you can see here. Is the red line cutting through both candle bodies? We can see the red line is cutting through both candle bodies. Is the gray aqua blue line closely below the 2 candles or cutting through? And you can see they're closely below. That's good. And then lastly, did you make sure that the gray aqua blue lines are not closely above? There is nothing above, which is perfect. That is what you're looking for. So, perfect times to trade DeloX. And this is one of the things I even go by when I'm trading HFX myself. The worst times to trade when the markets are very slow, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. UK time. Now, you get about three plays per arrow. And when we mean by 3 plays, if you go back here, like so, you can, these are plays, and you see per arrow, like so. So 3 plays per arrow to a different currency pair. Advise to trade with the educators who trade at that time in the morning, because they're more experienced to do that. Now, 5 a.m. to 11 a.m., the volume starts picking up because you start entering into London session. So it's a great time you can trade then. There's a lot of delos during that time. But the perfect time to trade, the absolute best time, is 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The volume is high, and it's a great time to trade, and the win ratios are going to be very high at this time. So it's a great time to trade HFX, whether it's DeloX or other strategies, but it's the perfect time to trade. The volume, like I said, you've got London, and then you're going straight into New York around that time as well. So high volume, great time to trade, and loads of delos. So let me go into the 4 types of DeloX trades, okay? So I'm going to go through the 4 different types. Now, there are 4 different types for you to understand, and I'm going to show you the first lot. I'm going to show them on the screen for you. So there's 4 different types. So we have free COL, free candle rules, okay? So 3 candles or less, we're going to go for the free candle rule. So you set the time for 15 minutes. Then you have the no line, which is the aggressive entry. You're going in, you're not going towards the line. You have the yellow line, which is the most active. So when there's a pullback of basically of the candle, when the candle pulls back to the yellow line, then you can get into those trades. The most accurate one is the red line. Now, the red line, when you pull back to that red, when the candle pulls back to there, you can enter that trade. Now, each play is different. So I say by the arrow shows different plays. So you can see average 14 plays with the aggressive entry. With the free candles or less rule, you're talking about 1 play. And I'm going to go through each of these so you understand how each one works. So the aggressive one, you can get about 14 different trades. You can go into them. And you're talking about 2 to 4 losses per arrow. So if you've got 1 currency pair, you're going in which produces 1 arrow, 2 to 4 losses in that. With the yellow line, when a candle pulls back to the yellow line, you're looking at around about 3 losses per 2 arrows. So if you've got another currency pair, you go into another arrow. And with this one, when you go into the more accurate one with the yellow line, we're talking about 1 loss per 3 arrows. So you can do different currency pairs as well. So the key thing is obviously what are your understanding of how this works. So say, for example, the candle appears, obviously there's an aggressive move and you're going in for aggressive. When I'm talking about aggressive, you're going straight into the trade. You've checked it all out and you've basically said, yeah, it meets all the 4 steps. I'm going to go in. I'm not waiting for any pullback. So you're going for an aggressive entry. Where you're going for the yellow and the red one, you're waiting for that pullback of the candle towards that line. So when you're entering those, when you're going for those trades, when the new candle comes up, new arrow comes up, and you know it's going to pull back, you watch it pull back towards that line, you need to look at the number. Now, with the Delorean platform, the figures are off just about 1 or 2 pips, which is really, really good. So you'll be able to have a roundabout ballpark figure of where you need to enter, whether it's to the yellow line or the red line. So you go down there. Now, I always tell people to set the timer. By default, the timer is not set on the Delorean. Now, to do that, you right-click anywhere on the TradingView platform or on the Delorean, the white space of it. Then you're going to select Properties and Scales. Then you're going to select the countdown, and then click on OK. And you have the countdown timer. Always advise you to have that because you need to know when the candle is closing, so you know when you're going in if you've got enough time to go in as well. I trade personally fixed time, so when you're going in, and I'll tell you how many minutes you need to do for each style. And like I said, the best times to trade, you can try 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. UK time, but the overall best time is 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and you can do that, but you can stretch to 5 p.m. and hit it from there. In addition to that, let me show you the sell or put, similar sort of thing. You've got the free COL, free candle rule, 1 play. And then from there, you've got the most aggressive, going straight in, not waiting for the pullback. We used to call this the Patrick push, which is really, really good. So you can go back there, pull it back because it goes to the yellow line, or it goes to the red line there. And it tells you obviously how many plays you're going to get. And you're going to see that, set the timer and so forth. And it's really, really good. So you can build yourself up. And like I said, this is very simple and very easy to do. You're going to basically make sure once you know that the first bit is done, you're going to be trading this continually. You don't need to look back at the arrow all you're going to be looking out for and focusing on is the pullbacks or the entries you're going to be doing. So I want to go through 3COL. So 3 candles or less. Now we use this in Delorean. Okay, so when you're doing Delorean trading, you should be in profit in 3 candles or less. If not, you pull out. Now this works for HFX as well. So it's very straightforward and easy for you to do. It also works in HFX. So how does that work? It's very simple and easy. So once you've checked for your 4 simple steps and you've gone through, you're basically going to go into a trade for 3 candles, so 15 minutes. So you've done it where you might pull back, you've entered the trade, 3 candles, 1, 2, 3, you've won the trade. You've got it for 15 minutes, 1, 2, 3, and you've won that trade. That simple and that easy. The 3 candle or less rule works in many different time frames as well. So you have the 1 minute, which is 3 minutes. The 5 minutes, so you've got the 5 minute candle in hyperdrive, then you do it for 15 minutes and so forth. But we're going to be obviously focusing on the 5 minutes to 15 minute trades. So you can do those long trades, the 3 candle rule. So you can see here, we've got into this trade here for 15 minutes. 1, 2, 3, we've won that trade. Simple. Let's show you some more examples. You can see here, this one could be an aggressive entry. You might wait for a pullback. 3 candle rule. 1, 2, and then you've done it. You've won the trade. Same here. Waiting for that pullback. You've got into that trade. You've gone there. 1, 2, 3. You might have finished around about this one because it's fixed time. Done. Here. You've pulled back. You've gone in for 3. 1, 2, 3. Won that trade. Done. And on and on and on. So the 3 candle rule ensures that you win that trade. You wait for the pullback, go for 15 minutes, and you've won that trade. It's that good, that simple, that easy. And that's just you going in for 1 trade for 15 minutes. You can see some more examples here. Let me show you this one. This one's always a good one. You can see here, it's pulled back. You've gone in for three candles, so 15 minutes, 1, 2, 3. So there you go. You finish, you've won that trade. And so forth. You've got into this one, there, 1, 2, 3, done. It's simple. So let's go into type 2. We call this the bloodline. So you got the red line. So we're waiting for the pullback towards it. So when we're waiting for the pullback towards that line, that's the key thing for you to go into that trade. Now, it's the highest accuracy is the bloodline. So when you're going into that trade, it's the highest accuracy. So it doesn't happen many often with most arrows. So you're looking out for that. If you go for that one, it's going to be the tricky one. So you're going to wait for that. If it gets there, you know you're going to be doing very well with that one. So when it pulls to the bloodline, you're going to enter that trade. And now you're going to enter that trade for 3 minutes fixed. Okay. I like fixed time. I remember someone saying to me before, if you have non-fixed, the brokers can play around with that. But when it's fixed time, you know you're going in for 3 minutes. Okay. And basically you're going to go in there for 3 minutes. It's pulled back to that line. And that's the best one you can go for. But like I said, it doesn't happen that often. But when it does, it's the best thing. It's amazing. So 3 minutes fixed, pulls back to that line. You already have seen it already. You've seen the red arrow come up. So basically here, you basically look at where it is in terms of the red line. Also, we're going to go through the yellow one. And then you know whereabouts it's going to pull back to. You have your broker ready. You see, pull back to that line. You go 3 minutes fixed. Done. And when you're going for a call or a buy, you're going here. And you can see here, it will pull back like so to the red line. You go into the trade. And then basically you wait for there. So pull back, go for 3 minutes fixed. And that's very important for you to do. And you can see the examples here. So I'll show you some of the examples like so. Here we go. So you can see the arrow came up. We pull back. You've got into that trade. That one has it there. You can see here, pull back to the line here. I'll explain this bit afterwards because this involves the exit university and how to exit. Let's have another one. Here we go. So you can see this one pulled back here, like so. So it pulled back to the red line. You enter that trade. you can see this one pulled back to the red line. You've got it for 3 minutes and bang, you've won that trade. So you can see how it works towards the bloodline. It doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it's very, very positive indeed. The next one is the yellow brick road, or going to the yellow line. Now that's what's really powerful about this one. This one has an 80% pullback rate. So you're going to pull back towards the yellow brick road. I wait for these ones. These are the ones that I go into myself. So when it pulls back to that line, that is a great way because you have more chances of getting to more trades. So when it pulls back to the yellow brick road, that's what's amazing. When it pulls back to that line, you know to go into that trade. You know the ballpark figure or whereabouts, the area you need to go into it. So when it pulls back, great, you go into it. And then you go for a 3 minute fixed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know some people, love the bloodline. That's good. If you want to get into more, you can go back to that as well. And that's it. And then you can go back and then go there. Okay. So you pull back to that line and there you go. Excellent. From there, you can get there and do that. All right. And it's 3 minutes fixed. Now this, like I said, this is an amazing strategy. I've done well with it. I know someone else is on this call who's done well with it as well. We both been testing it out. Pammy and I've been testing it out, my wife, Anne-Marie. So it's really good for you, those who have got Delorean, you can try it out as well. So it's really clear and easy. You can pull back to that as well. There we go. So let me just go to the next one. So when we're talking about the yellow brick road, the rules for it. Fixed time, it says 2 to 5 minutes. I do 3 minutes, okay? Because it usually takes 1 to 2 minutes for the pullback to the yellow line to happen, okay? So it takes 2 to 3 minutes, and then to 1 to 2 minutes, sorry, to pull back. Now, they will be official yellow brick road trades once they touch the line. Anything before that is called an aggressive play. You want it to touch the line, okay? It's a yellow brick road. You want it touching the line, you go in there, okay? The objective is to get as close to the yellow line as possible, okay? So anything above the yellow is cool, obviously, and then if it put is below the yellow, okay? So the key thing is to get close as possible. That's the key thing. So if you can see here, let me just go put the camera off so you can see everything. There we go. So you can see for yourself. Trade's pulled back to the yellow line, got in for a 3 minute trade, bang, it's gone, won that one. It's pulled back to the yellow line, got into that trade, you just about won that one. Pull back to the yellow line, close up here, you won that. Pull back to the yellow line, you won that one. It might have pulled back to the yellow line, you entered it, but it pulled back further towards the red. Bang, done, you still win that one. You see the yellow brick road, every time it's pulling back there, you enter for a 3 minute fixed. There you go, goes to the next candle, bang, goes to the yellow brick road, goes to the yellow brick road. You can see it's gone touch the line, you've gone into it. 3 minutes, bang, bang, bang. Here, pull back to the yellow line, gone into it. Pull back to the yellow line, you got into it, you win the trade. You pull back to your line, you got into it, pull back to your line. You can see it's pulling back and you're winning those trades, okay? So it's amazing. Simple and easy because you've already done the 4 steps. So all you're going to be doing after that is just basically looking for the pullbacks to the yellow line. You don't need to do any more steps or anything else. Just waiting for the pullback, bang. 3 minutes, fixed, bang. Got up there, you touched that, 3 minutes fixed, it still won the trade, bang, bang, bang. Look at that, continually going down like so. Continual trades going in. As long as it touches the line, you've gone in. It might pull back to the bloodline. You can go into that one. But you can see the yellow brick road is there. You can see it's pulling back. You're winning those trades. Look how many here. 13 wins, 1 loss. Bang, 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 bang. But you know what? The key thing I always say to people is you can do that trade, but also you can do the free COL. So go for 15 minutes to a 15-minute trade and also do your 3 minute ones. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. So you could continually have one trade just running for 15 minutes for 3 candles. And then you have your 3 minute trades going bang, 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 bang. And you're just going in there. And that's how you can do those as well, which is great. Now, let's talk about the aggressive. Now, I know this one always makes me laugh, and I know a lot of people want to try and do this one. The aggressive entry. So anytime you see a pullback, okay, you enter. Now, this is where you're going to see people making about 50, 60 trades winning, because you're trading for 1 minute. You're trading for 1 minute. Every time you see a pullback, you go into that. Now, I'll say my most experienced Delorean traders should be doing this. So whenever you see a pullback, you see it's not pulling back to the yellow line or the red, any little bit of pullback, you go in for 1 minute trade. Bit of pullback, you go in for 1 minute trade. 1 minute fixed time, you go into it. So imagine we're looking at a 5 minute time frame chart. Each candle is worth 5 minutes. Within each 5 minutes is 5 1 minutes. Okay, so you're going in for 1 minute. 1 minute, maybe 5 times, maybe 4 times, you're going in for the pullbacks. You're winning those trades. It's an aggressive move. And you're going in and going in and going in and going in and going in. So you can go into those that way. So it's an aggressive move to do that. Now, Delorean at the moment doesn't offer the 1 minute time frame for you to be accessible to you. Now, you can access this. Actually, there's a feature in there that you can access, the globe feature. So when you're in hyperdrive, you press the back button to go back to normal Delorean. The key thing is first in hyperdrive is to find the trades. So when the Delorean comes up and you found the Delorean and you found it perfect, great, it's done everything I want to do the aggressive 1 minute trading. Then you go back, you click the back button. There's a little globe on the left hand side. Make sure you select your currency pair that you were looking at, and you can go down to the time frame of 1 minute. Now, when you go into that, changing the view to the trading view option within Delorean, you're going to get rid of the Ikomoku cloud and also the volume. So you need to remove those. Those are the key ones you need to remove. You're going to add the EMA twice. So you're going to click EMA, type in EMA, it's the moving average exponential. Add it twice. The settings for that one, for the first one, you go to settings, so go over it, click settings, set the input as 5. The style is yellow. Then the second EMA, you go to the cog there settings, change the style to red and the input to 13. That's where you can know you've got the moving averages there. You need Delorean to know what Deloreans are. So you still got to have Delorean, so you know what it is. You look at it before, then you go straight to that view and you can do the 1 minute trades. So I can show you what it looks like so. And you see here, I'm on the 1 minute time frame. I put my red and my yellow lines in. And you can see, for example, these are 1 minute trades. So when it's going in, it's the pullback, bang, bang. I could go in several times. Because I've already checked Delorean already, found the Delorean, what currency pair it is, I can go in there and do the aggressive trades for the 1 minute time frame. And that's where you can do it as well. So that's a great way for you to learn and do that way. Practice the 3 minutes and do it that way. Do the free COL. I prefer personally, I do the 3 minute trades on the 5 minute time frame because I can see it there, I can do all of it and so forth. Now, when we need to get through to a point, we need to pause. Now, pausing is very, very important. Now, what you need to know is when do you need to stop trading. Now, when the candle closes above the yellow line, if you're going for the put, above the yellow line, in between the red, you pause. You don't do any more trades. Okay? It's when it comes back down and closes below, the pause ends. You're ready to go. So it closes back below the yellow. We're ready to go back in and we can go back to trading. And then we can go back in. When it pulls back to the yellow, we can go in, or it pulls back to the red. But if it closes in between, we pause, we wait for it to come back out. It's that simple. So you can see here, like so, it closed up here. We pause. It closed up here. We don't do it. We don't do the trade. It closed here. We pause. Wait for the candle to close below. Great. We wait for it. It's closed. We wait for the next play. so forth. You pull back here, go into the trade, and so forth. We're back in again. Similar sort of thing with the call. Closes between the yellow and the red. Okay, so you pause your play. You don't go in, done, wait for it to close back up. Then you can go back when it pulls back to the yellow line or go all the way to the red. You're back in play and so forth. If it closes in between, you've got to stop. Closes above, you're ready to play the next play, which the next candle pulls back, you're back in. It's all good, that simple and that easy. Now, when you know you need to stop completely, game over, that's the KC, the Exit University. I advise you to watch that if you have Delorean. So when the candle closes above for a put, it closes above the red line, that's it. That currency pair is done. The direction of the markets has changed. So you're not going to go into that anymore. No more trades for you. You can see here, it pulled back up, it closed above. That's it, done. We've made our money there. That's it. Same thing with the call. Closes below the red line. You can see here, we're done. We've done it here, 11 wins. We might have got into one here and we've lost this one. But you can see here, like so, done. It closes below the red. I'm finished. Done, finished. No more. It's that simple and that easy. No more trades. That's it. Closed, done for the day. So there you move on to the next currency pair and so forth. You can stick onto one currency pair and do multiple trades, which is great. So when we talk about the basics of HFX, I highly recommend you do some basic HFX learning. So key things are the price and direction. Obviously, price goes into two different directions, up and down. Understand the whole point of the time expiration. So knowing when you're going into a trade, understanding the basics of call and put and so forth. Okay. When I trade HFX, I don't do any rollovers. I don't do double ups. The key thing for me, if I win, I win. I lose, I lose. Remember, when you're rolling over, you're adding 20% on top of your risk. So imagine you're doing 3 of those, or even 4, some people do 5. I'd rather lose a trade than lose more money. Doubling up, you can risk doing more there as well. If it pulls back, say for example, your trade pulled back to yellow, you might pull back to the red, then you can go into that trade for the red. So you've got the yellow one and a red one. That's great. But I'm not going to double up. I'm not going to roll over. You lose. You can still make your money up. Proper risk management is the key thing. I've seen people have their accounts high, but they've just been rolling over, and then bang, they've lost their money. So do proper risk management, please. Now, another thing I always do before I go into a trade, I always do my analysis, check the markets before, check the news. The news is key. You need to know when the news is. Always on Forex Factory, you can use the red folders. I use investing.com. That's a key one. When you go to investing.com, you can go in there, change the country flag to whatever country you are. Then you'll find the economic calendar. And it goes deeper. It goes deep. Compared to Forex Factory, it goes even deeper to individual countries. So you've got Euro news, but it goes into individual countries as well. And I also got the free stars here, like the red folders in Forex Factory. You've got the 3 stars, so you know when to trade and when not to trade. News does affect things, so please always check the news. Check it. I always say to people, check the news Sunday. I always check the week ahead. I always check the day before I go into my trades. I always check the news, so I know what I'm trading and I know what I'm doing. Okay, you'll be thinking, why have I lost just now? Because you ain't checked the news. You're seeing the currency pairs. You know what you're going into currency pairs. You're just aimlessly going in. Oh, that's a great Delorean. Then 2 minutes later, there's news and it goes the other way. So always make sure you know what you're doing when it comes to news. Understand your brokers, the payouts. Different brokers have obviously different ways of throwing the payouts, percentages and so forth. Obviously you've got pocket option, you have things like race options and other ones as well. So check the percentages. I personally look to do ones that are 70% and above. like everyone says, anything below 70% are the ones that they're the good ones. The higher percentage ones are the ones that you want to get, but sometimes not. So sometimes you might go a bit low, below 70, but I always go, like, I'll go for 70 because it's always good there. Like I said, fixed time with the broker. So when you do fixed time with pocket option, you click on the flag and it'll give you the expiration time where you can set the time that you need. With race option and other ones, you have a switch where you can switch it on to fixed time. Make sure you set it for your 3 minutes or your 15 minutes and so forth. That's the key thing. If you don't have Delorean yet and you want to add it on, there's no problem at all. It's $21.95. Go to your back office, im.academy/login, and go in there and go to the shopping cart. And you can add Delorean to your package, or you upgrade to Elite, which gives you access to Delorean and also Hourglass, other cryptocurrency and other packages. Once you add it to your package, you have it there and you can access Delorean by going to the Delorean website, Delorean.im, and so forth. And that's the end of our training. I hope you were able to digest that. I tried to not go too fast with it and everything else, but I've covered everything that you want to know and everything you need. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out and I'll be able to answer them. If you've got any questions, and it will all be good. But the yellow brick roads is amazing. That's what I love to do. Do your little 3-minute trades, pull back, get into there for 3 minutes, but also the free COL, free candles or less. You set that one up for 15 minutes, then you do your 3-minute trades, bang, 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 and you're good. Know your risk management, understand what you're doing, and you'll go very, very far with this strategy. So thank you all for jumping on. I really, really appreciate it.